Hello watch enthusiasts, I'm your host OJ Whatley, talking to you live and in real time from What You Want. If you like our videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What You Want Inc. Additionally, all of the watches in our videos and our entire line of watches, our extensive inventory of watches, can be viewed by going to our website, www.whatyouwant.com. So I'm here talking to you today about a very cool Luminor Panerai 1950. In fact, this watch is the Luminor 1950 8 days power reserve. This is the PAM 368, made in a special edition for the N as in Nancy series in only 1,000 pieces. This watch features an 8-day power reserve, and some of the things that I really like about this watch is rather than the original 1950 PAM 127, which was housed in a stainless steel case, this particular watch is housed in a 47mm titanium case. Additionally, it features an antique brown or sort of a tobacco brown dial with yellow gold hour and minute hands and yellow gold second sub-dial hand at 3 o'clock. This watch is a destro or lefty watch, meaning the winding crown is set at the 9 o'clock position rather than the 3 o'clock. You know, there's a lot of questions about the destro watches, if they're meant to be worn exclusively by left-handed people and therefore aren't comfortable to be worn by right-handed people. And, you know, I believe actually to the contrary. I like a left-handed watch because when you wear the watch on your left hand, the winding crown actually points to your elbow, rather than in some cases on people with smaller wrists, that winding crown kind of jabs into the area between the hand and the wrist when the hand moves. So to answer your question, you know, a destro, you know, the idea and the concept behind a destro watch is as a left-handed watch with the crown being at the 9 o'clock position rather than the 3 o'clock position, a left-handed person would then hold the watch in their right hand and set the time with their left hand. And you can imagine how sort of this would be a little more cumbersome for a left-handed person were the crown on the right side or at the 3 o'clock position, and they would have to hold the watch in their left hand like a traditional right-handed person would do. So again, a traditional right-handed person would hold the watch in their left hand and set the watch with their right hand. In this case, the left-handed person holds the watch in their right hand and sets the watch by pulling out the winding crown with their left hand. In either case, I think this watch is equally comfortable worn on either wrist. Some of the things that I really like about this watch, you know, it's got a very subtle look to it with the 8 days logo just above the 6 o'clock marker, and of course the signature Luminor Panerai just below the 12 o'clock. It does feature a sandwich dial, which is to say that the Arabic hour numbers and hour markers are cut out. It's sort of a two-piece dial where you essentially have the hour markers sort of stencil or cut out of the top dial, and there's a green luminous disc for the luminescence underneath. And when you stencil out those numbers and sticks for the hour markers, and then you put that green luminous disc underneath, that's where the luminous comes from, and the luminous sort of glows out from the cutouts. It gives it sort of a vintage look and feel, and really just a very unique look to it. I'll give you another shot of this watch. So this watch features that 1950 case. You know, it's got that scooped side as opposed to the straight back side. And of course it features a see-through case back. What is also very unique about this see-through case back is it features an 8 days power reserve in the case back. And there's that power reserve right there with a 0 to 8. So you can see as you wind the watch, you can see that power reserve move, and I'm just going to demonstrate it for you. As you can see, it's moving from 0 to 4. It takes about maybe a minute and a half to wind this fully through the full 8-day cycle. Again, what I really like is that power reserve indicator viewable through the case back, which is not a feature you see on any other 47mm 1950. This watch was made as a special limited edition, so it features the oversized special edition box set with the individually numbered parchment special edition certificate. Of course, along with the box and papers, and this watch features that in-house 8-day power reserve. It is a manual winding watch and features that power reserve indicator on the case back, which gives it a very balanced dial because there's no power reserve indicator on the dial. There are a couple of 47mm watches that they have released over the last few years that feature the Luminor 1950 case and the power reserve dial on the power reserve indicator on the dial. But again, what's special about this watch is that destro feature and the fact that it is one of the original Luminor 1950 editions. First you had the PAM 127, then you had the PAM 217, and then the PAM 217 was followed up with this watch. So the 127 was the original, the 217 was the left-handed destro Marina Militar, and that was made in 1,000 pieces. And then you had the PAM 368, which was made in 1,000 pieces. This is the only special edition 1950 that featured the 47mm titanium case. Those other watches featured a stainless steel case. Additionally, this watch comes on the original alligator strap. It can be that sometimes they feature it on that gold calfskin, leather calfskin strap. This particular watch is shown here on a black alligator strap, which is sort of nice because it's sort of, it brings down, that brown dial in darker lights could be mistaken for black, and at the same time, right against the black, it's unmistakably brown in lighter light, in lighter environments. It's a pretty thick watch, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on my wrist. As I've always said in my videos, I've got fairly small wrist. My wrist is a 7 1/4 to 7.5 inch wrist, and I'll show you what it looks like. Apologies for leaving the frame. This watch is typically sold with a matching titanium tang buckle, not the deployment, as most 1950s feature, that original tang buckle. And there it is, you can see, I'll try to get it in focus there. There it is, you can see on my wrist. To me, this is an extremely comfortable watch. It's got a great width to it. It's a 26mm lug width. That wide lugs and that wide strap tapers only a couple of millimeters where it gets to the buckle. And what I love about it is it just wraps around your wrist almost like a sweatband. It just sits on top of your wrist and stays there, doesn't move around, and doesn't really have that tendency like some watches to sort of fall off your wrist. Because it's so wide, it really does stay nice on your wrist. Even with a smaller wrist, to me, it's a much more comfortable watch than some of the smaller 44mm watches. I can wear this watch, I can sleep in this watch without any issues and find it to be a very comfortable watch. So there you have it. This is the PAM 68 Luminor 1950 8 days, special edition of 1,000 pieces, PAM 368 N as in Nancy series. It is a limited special edition watch made for only 1 year, featuring the 47mm titanium case. As always, if you like our videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What You Want Inc., and make sure to check out our website, www.whatyouwant.com, to see this watch and our entire inventory of Panerai watches, along with a number of watches from hundreds of different brands. That website is updated daily with our new arrivals and sneak peeks. So thank you so very much for your time, and please wear your watches in the best of health. This is OJ Whatley from What You Want, signing off. Take care and have a great day.